Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful epic peeps. How are you today? Oh my goodness, epic peeps. We're going to be talking about chickadees today. That just ran across my mind. So you have to stick around because it's going to be a really important and inspiring conversation. For those that don't know me, my name is Samantha, and I'm so grateful to be here on behalf of EPIC. EPIC stands for Empowering People and Inspiring Community. And EPIC Tri-County CT it's a beautiful, multifaceted platform of conscious, positive media. We publish this great magazine every 2 months. The reason I hesitate there is we just went to print with our March, April, and it was quite a journey, but it's beautiful, and you're not going to want to miss the March, April issue. We also have a digital copy of that magazine available at all times at our website, www.epictricountyct.com. And of course, you'll find us all over social media, speaking. That brings me to an announcement that I have tonight. If you're not doing anything, private message me at 6:30. I'll be speaking about collaboration and the importance of working together for the Avon Holistic Chamber of Commerce. If you private message me and you want to join us, there's no charge for that for the first 2 meetings at the chamber, and I'll get you over the Zoom link. I'd really love to see as many people there because collaboration really, really is what we need right now and going forward as we begin to heal our world, heal each other, and heal ourselves. So, who is Lisa? Who is EPIC, right? Lisa is the co-publisher and co-creator. You never see her up here, very rarely. She's always behind the scenes working so hard. Please give her some love in her life and some light through the comments. I'm going to stop rambling. I feel like I am. I do have to say, though, also, in addition to the Chamber of Commerce meeting that's happening tonight, I am going to be recording with Caitlin Casso, my first podcast. So please send me some prayers, and I will let you know when you can listen to that podcast. So enough about me. I have 2 guests today. I'm going to bring first Terry from Soulful Sydney forward in a few minutes in the Healing Chickadee Project. I just had the pleasure of talking with Terry a few minutes before this broadcast. But I've grown to admire her in the short time that we've known each other, quote unquote, the beauty of Zoom and technology and emails. But just in those few days, actually maybe about a week of being introduced to Terry and her project, I feel a sense of passion from her, a passion to serve and a passion to be a minister, quote unquote, for our children. She is the founder and chief enthusiast of Soulful Sydney. And Soulful Sydney is a nonprofit organization that was inspired by Terry's grandchildren. And it was created around a desire to create a safe space, a safe healing space for children to grow up with grace and peace and kindness and compassion. She has co-created Soulful Sydney with Christina Connors, and we're going to talk about David Friedman, the Disney composer. He's involved. But this beautiful organization is about children, and you know, and I know that children are epic. So please give me 1 second while we bring Terry forward, and we'll let. There we go.
Hi.
Hi. I love it. Hi.
I'm sorry. No, I got so excited. You were talking about the Soulful Forest, so I had to go get it for you because this is a safe place for kids. It really is a metaphor for our own internal spiritual life because what I'm looking at with my kids and especially my grandkids is a world that sometimes feels a little scary to me. So what I wanted to create, I want to change the whole world, but if we can change that internal space. So the Soulful Soulful Forest is the only way into the Soulful Forest is through the Garden of Gratitude, because we know that all good things start in gratitude. And sometimes kids have to go up to the top of Mindful Mountain, which is where they learn to appreciate here and now. Sometimes they have to go down the River of Resilience, because in life there's grief and there's loss, but they always end up down at the Pondering Pond, where they see their reflection to see what they've learned along the way. Kids have to go underneath the Tranquil Tree several times a day, and adults too. And that's where we learn to get space between how we feel and what we choose to do and say. There's the field of forgiveness. The field of forgiveness is where kids learn to laugh, L-A-F. Love, accept, and forgive one another. And if we laugh at ourselves, isn't that great? And this is something we teach kids. And then there's also Diversity University, which is where we learn to appreciate the differences. One of the things we always try to do is avoid Camp Chaos. Camp Chaos at Bellyacres Farm, where everyone is constantly alarmed. So that's how this started, with my very dear friend, Christina Connors. She is a talented singer. She's absolutely beautiful. I've always wanted to be that sexy, talented, blonde-haired singer, and she is, but we're friends anyway. But we came up with this concept of the Soulful Forest, and what we wanted to do was create places based on children's life experiences, and how can we be of service? So we teamed up. Actually, she's very good friends with David Friedman. Mm-hmm. David Friedman is a Disney composer and Broadway conductor. He's an extraordinary person, and he loved the Soulful Forest, and he came up with a theme song for us. And so we have a Disney theme song that goes with this. It's really wonderful. So we're exploring different parts of the forest, and you're going to have to break in if you have a question, because I get so excited I could talk.
That's okay.
Okay.
I love your passion.
I'm so excited. And so the first book, go ahead.
Oh, no. Actually, the Soulful Story, tell us, it's based on books, right? A book? Is that what you were going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, the first endeavor was a book called Soulful Sydney Explores Diversity, and I have a grandchild named Sydney, and I have a bunch of grandkids, and the fact that it's Soulful Sydney, it just happened to go, but it's really for all the grandkids, and they don't believe that. It's annoying to them, how kids are. But so it's called Soulful Sydney Explores Diversity, and my sister and I wrote it, and it's about Diversity University, and we also wrote it with this little girl from a mosque in Newtown. She's an extraordinarily brilliant young lady, and so it was a collaboration of different generations, different religions, different backgrounds, and it's just a beautiful story. And it all rhymes, because it's all about kids really love books that rhyme. So but that's what we explored first. And our first idea was that we were going to have a whole bunch of books based on all the different places in the forest. But then COVID happened, and things, how when you wake up every day and you say, yes, God, or thank you, then you are led. And for me, I'm led, and I'll tell you when it started. Maybe you can relate to this. I think you're younger than I am, but my daughter, when she turned 18, my daughter turned 18 the year that I turned 50. So she moved out of the house, and when she moved out of the house, she took all the remaining estrogen with her. And all of a sudden, I became I was like, what was a mean thing to do? So I was like, what is my life about right now? And I don't know if other women, when the hormonal changes happen, I got the mustache, I wasn't happy about that. And I just couldn't figure out what I needed to do. And that's when the prayer started 10 years ago of thank you, God. Yes, God, how may I be of service? And then all this happened, and I've gotten some women on board with me, the Soulful Grandma Brigade, and so I've got women of my, isn't that fun? Women of my age group, yeah. So we're all working towards this, and the next thing that happened, and this is what I want to talk to you about today, it's the Healing Chickadee.
Yes.
And the Healing Chickadee is based on real life experience. When I was 10 years old, my brother died. He died suddenly. And my sister was, I think, 17 at the time, and I had another brother who was 15. And our family was ill-equipped to handle that. And a lot of anxiety, there was a lot of stuff that happened. And I've carried this around. We all carry around a baggage of something and whatever. So one of the things that I prayed for is how may I be of service? So there's a place in the Soulful Forest called the Grief Glen, and it's at the bottom of the River of Resilience. And this, with music by David Friedman and sung by Christina Connors, we have created the Tweethearts. So it's the Healing Chickadee and the Tweethearts. And a little box, a little bird shows up to a child's house. We mail it out to them, and it's got a little note on it. And I could read you the note, but we'll go into that later. And it arrives in this cute little Healing Chickadee box. And there's a letter to the parents or trusted adults, because sometimes, we don't want to say parents. The child may be without parents, and that may be one of the reasons that we're ministering to them. And then there's information on how to get onto the website, where you will find this whole Tweetheart page. There are videos, music, downloads for activities. It's just this wonderful little utopia. It's an animated utopia for kids to go, and it's all about birds and words, and it's the language of healing. So that's what I'm doing right now.
I love it. I love it. You got your hands full. I have to ask you real quickly, David Friedman. And Lisa, maybe you could let me know in the chat. David Friedman, if I'm not mistaken, is a Unity. Is he involved in Unity?
How did you know that?
Because I've met David. And I've done his workshop. See this? So this really is about collaborate. How we're all connected before we even know we're connected. We're connected. I know it just hit me. I'm like, David Friedman.
The thought exchange, right?
Yes, exactly. So I love the way that just came to me. Thank you, Spirit. And it really is a great depiction or affirmation of, you never know how your path is going to unfold or what is going to happen, who you're going to meet. But when you have a chance to step back, take a breath, and look at the whole picture, like you look at the whole forest, Soulful Forest, you can see how each experience, each person, plays such an important role. We might not even realize. So thank you for helping me have that aha. So I'm going to bring on Mairead. Mairead is a return guest from the Cove, which is the Healing Center for Grieving Children. We had Mairead on a couple months ago, and this was also for the people who are watching now and later. We participated in a fundraiser for the Cove where I was like painted blue. So I don't know if I'm sure, and once you see Mairead in here again, you'll remember. But Mairead and the Cove are working very closely in conjunction, collaborating with Terry from Soulful Sydney and the Healing Chickadee. And that's really, as I bring Mairead forward, give her your love and your light. And I want to talk a little bit more about how you both are working, the two different organizations are coming together to minister to our children. So I'm going to step back. And I'm going to let you guys tell us.
Yay, I'm so excited. And, as you were just talking about like this collaboration, I started working for the Cove in September. And I think Terry and I connected not long after I first started. And, I had streams of emails coming in and all sorts of people, we get spam emails about things and whatever. And I don't even remember how we first connected, and I kind of had got this ominous, I think you reached out and it was like this ominous thing, we have this chickadee, whatever. And I said to my boss, Allison, I'm meeting with this woman, whatever, and met with Terry. And when she started explaining it and I saw her passion and she showed me all of the activities, and I was just saying her before, like every detail is so well thought out and well done. And after meeting with her and seeing the passion and really seeing all that there is to offer once you get into that website and how much it can truly help, I said to Allison, my boss, I was like, I think this really is going to be an amazing opportunity. And here we are now, several months later, and we have this amazing, it started like a small, everything starts with an idea. And so that's how it started. And we were fortunate to be working together now. And Terry, I don't know if you want to talk about the Rotary Club and how that started.
And how this all ties.
Yeah.
Love it.
The Triberry Rotary. Here's the interesting thing. I don't know if some of the young people don't know what Rotary Club is. In fact, my mother's 90 years old. She's in a nursing home. I called her. I said, Mom, I joined the Triberry Rotary. She goes, the Rotary? That's a bunch of old men. I thought they were all dead. I go, no, Mom, they're definitely not dead. It's a wonderful. This is the great thing about being 90. You could say it doesn't. You can say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I remember the Triberry Rotary, and I love the Rotary because it's about community. It's about service, and they have the 4-way test about, is it fair? Is it beneficial to all concerned? Is it the truth? So I just love the Rotary. And when I was thinking about this nonprofit, and then the nonprofit of the Cove, and the nonprofit of Triberry Rotary, it was a marriage. It became a marriage, and everybody's moving forward in the same direction for the benefit of children who are in pain. And that to me makes me cry. Like, it gives me goosebumps, and it just makes me cry. So I'm just really so excited because Mairead was, enthusiastic, and Allison, and we're all like popping like hot kernels in the bottom of a pan, Like, yeah. Because we know, and I know everybody knows grief. Everybody knows pain. For me, when my brother died, the isolation set in, and people stopped talking to me. And one of the things that their theory is she's young, she won't remember him, or this isn't affecting her. And they didn't think that I could hear what was going on in the other room. And I have to tell you too, and I don't know, maybe if I'm being too personal here, but the motivation here, I remember after the funeral, no one ever discussed my brother's funeral with me again. So one of the little birds here, one of the Tweethearts, comes to Dee Dee, the Chickadee, and her grandma Lovebug just died, and she's having all kinds of feelings about it. And this little bird comes in, and the bird starts talking about the word ritual, because we don't want to use the word funeral. Some cultures don't have funerals, and maybe that's not what they chose to do. But what this is a catalyst for conversation, so that when they see the little 4-minute video about the Tweethearts talking about the word ritual, there's an activity that goes with it. And at the end of every one of these little videos, it says, talk to someone you trust about the word ritual. And that opens up that conversation of, did the child go? What, maybe they can do their own little ritual. There's so many ways that we can lift children up and work together with them. And I created this because I wish this is something that I would have had. And my sister and I have been really, she's a poet. So everything that rhymes is my sister did it. Everything that doesn't rhyme, I did it. So, and again, that collaboration based on shared experience. And I'm just so proud to work with her. And we've taken something that was part of our history that was so difficult. My dad's 91. And my dad said to me, he cries a lot, and older men cry. And he's crying, and he said, I wish I would have had something like this for you back in the day. So, it's got my dad's 91-year-old blessing on it. And there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't think about his son and what could have been and what might have been. So,
right. And
thank you.
You brought up, I don't love, but I'm grateful that you touched on how, we don't, a lot of times as parents, grandparents, and Mairead, I'm sure you can attest to this, it's difficult to know how to start a conversation with a youngster who's dealing with the loss of a loved one. And through the service that you're providing, Terry, and also with Mairead, you're providing tools, not only for the children, but for their families and their caretakers and the adults that love them, to be able to be that sounding board for them. I just learned something just now about the word ritual. And I do know, as I said earlier, I have 4 beautiful grandchildren. I hope that, we never want to see them suffer from grief, but it's a way of life. And here's where my tears start. I hope they don't have to, use this service right away, but I'm so grateful that it's there. And not only that for them, but for me, because I can be that, I could be the Chickadee, I could, that helps them to find that river and climb that mountain. And just, so thank you. How are you two working the Healing Chickadee? We're going to have all your information to share, everybody. It's so important. If you know any teachers in grade school level, K through, actually, Mairead, though, your services are right up through what, age 18? So
17,
anybody,
yeah.
17, right? Please share this video, share these links to Soulful Sydney and the Healing Chickadee and the Cove, because children everywhere need to be able to express themselves in times of grief and loss. And these two women here are providing them with a platform to do just that. And that is where the healing and grace begin. So we're sharing everything. Can you tell us, though, now back up, Samantha, can you tell us how the Healing Chickadee project is working in collaboration with the Cove? How's that? When's it start and how's it work?
So first, I just want to touch back because everything with Healing Chickadee is so well thought out and so detailed, but the idea that it is a catalyst for conversation, I think, is just what draws me to it, because, even in my own experiences, dealing with grief from a young age and feeling like you have to search for answers on your own is incredibly challenging. So just being able to have this safe space is amazing. And through this project and through the Tribury Rotary Club, we received a grant, or rather, Soulful Sydney received a grant and are being gracious enough to give us 150 of these chickadees at no cost to us, so that we can deliver them to 150 kids who can benefit from this beautiful and amazing service and experience, and hopefully go through their journey with grief with a much better outlook and a much better understanding. I think it really teaches so much about grief and life that is so important to learn from a young age. And so we are just so fortunate to be able to spread this mission and share this with kids who can really benefit from it.
Brought tears to my eyes when you said 150 children, because I know that's not a large number, but it seems it tugs on my heart to think that there are children out there, just as we're even speaking right now, that are dealing with grief, and bless you both for being there and being a source for them, a resource, and to provide them with some tools for their toolbox. I told Lisa when we were talking, Mairead, that the Cove really is near and dear to my heart, and we will support you through the platform of E.P.I.C, forever, as long as we possibly can. And now we're putting Soulful Sydney right up there with it also, and the Healing Chickadee project, because that's for our epic kids,
I just think it's creating epic kids, and those 150 kids, it's gonna make a huge difference in their lives. So
how can we, as adults that are watching this now or later, how can we help the nonprofit of Soulful Sydney and the Cove? What can we do to help empower you to keep moving forward with this mission and this ministry? What donations? Go to your website.
if you want to go first, Terry, or if you want me to.
Yeah, I'll do the, donations are always great. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. But one of the things that would be really helpful is if you know a funeral director, because funeral directors are frontline. They're aware. They can hand this little box to a family, and then they go online. You know what I'm saying? So the funeral directors are able to identify. We're trying to get it to kids that need it most, that are least likely to receive it. So if there's homeless shelters that have the ability to get onto computers, I'll send these out. I'll drop them off. Any kind of grief center. Yeah, we're all about that. And then Soulful Sydney, a donation is great, but Mairead, I don't want to take, I want people to send donations to the Cove. So I'm kind of afraid to say that.
Perfect. I hear you, and I appreciate that, Mairead. So how about the Cove? What's coming up for them?
So we have a really exciting event in April. It is a virtual auction and celebration. So it's going to be the 22nd through the 24th. The celebration will be on Saturday. And we are very excited. There's going to be a lot of great items, which we'll be posting in the coming few months on our Facebook page and Instagram about what we're going to have. But while what we do and while our mission and what we do is kind of sad and gloomy, we want to be able to celebrate the impact that we have, and so we're really excited about it. So for everyone, keep an eye out for more information on that, and donate. Just be there. We're going to have music. It's going to be a good time, and a lot of great auction items. And if people are interested in sponsoring the event, that's also an amazing way to contribute, so we can continue to provide these free services that we do.
Absolutely.
Mairead, maybe I shouldn't say this, but Christina Connors sings a song called "Help Is on the Way," written by David Friedman. Help is on the way from places you don't know about today. And I'm volunteering. She would love to come sing that at the event. Okay, I'm just saying.
I'll pass the message along. That's awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
Thanks.
Ladies, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your days to come and share, your energy with us. Terry, you have to be one of the most passionate guests I've ever had, so thank you. I'm looking forward to having you back. Mairead, you're like becoming a staple part of the E.P.I.C Foundation, so we'll definitely have you back. I want to talk to you about the sponsorship. I'll email you. And Terry, I'm going to put you in contact with the most beautiful, I guess, funeral director I know, Nikki Mariano. Are you familiar with Nikki?
Great. No, I would love to meet him. Thank you.
Got you. So everybody, as we begin to wrap down this conversation, again, I want to thank you, Terry. Thank you, Mairead. I want everybody to remember, and just remember how important collaboration is, and how we never know that how the picture is going to come together. And being our best selves every day is so important and allows that energy to unfold naturally. You hear my grandson playing here in the background. But I want to tell everybody, stay tuned till tomorrow. All right. We have Caitlin Casso from the podcast, her Inspired Podcast. So we'll be talking about that. I'm excited about it. And as always, please be safe in everything that you do. While you're out traveling today, or simply just staying at home, be safe. Be true to who you are. Stay in alignment with that true, authentic self that you are, because that is what you are here for. And also stay tuned till tomorrow. Please reach out to the Cove, Soulful Sydney, and the Healing Chickadee Project. And if you know of a child who could use the grief services that these two beautiful women provide, please share this video. I will see everybody tomorrow. I appreciate you, and it is always with the utmost love and light that I say peace out, Epic Scouts. Thank you.
Thank you.